This is the broken vault uncovering the truths they never wanted you to hear. Okay, let's get into this. Today, we're really unpacking a critical analysis, looking at the recent U.S. involvement in the Iran-Israel conflict. We're working with insights from a source called the Broken Vault. And it offers a pretty challenging view, doesn't it? Different from the usual supporting allies narrative. Just to be clear, we're exploring its perspective here, presenting its claims to give you, the listener, a broader understanding.
Exactly. And what's striking is how the Broken Vault presents this almost calculated, even chilling alternative explanation for U.S. actions.
Yeah.
It pushes you to look past the headlines.
So, the first big claim, then. The source suggests the U.S. got involved mainly to control global oil supplies. How do they frame that?
Well, the argument centers on the Strait of Hormuz. It's incredibly vital.
The choke point.
Precisely. Nearly 20% of the world's daily oil flows through it. And Iran has explicitly threatened to shut it down.
Which would cause chaos.
Complete chaos, according to this source. Exploding fuel prices globally, supply chains just collapsing, economy spiraling. So the Broken Vault asserts the U.S. isn't primarily protecting Israel in this specific instance, but rather protecting its own, let's call it energy dominance, securing that leverage.
That's quite a different way to look at it. Okay, so beyond oil, what other geopolitical pieces does this analysis identify? Does it broaden out?
Oh, definitely. It connects this to a bigger strategic picture. It points to what it describes as a growing China-Iran-Russia alliance.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Well, you have China investing billions in Iranian infrastructure, Iranian oil. Yeah. Then there's Russia providing sort of quiet military support. And the source argues these powers together are aiming for a Middle East that's, independent of Western influence.
So U.S. intervention becomes
a defensive move, essentially. According to the Broken Vault, it's about defending a, quote, fading empire and stopping the U.S. from losing its footing in the region as this other bloc gains ground.
Preventing a bigger power shift. That makes sense within their framework. And the analysis also touches on economic drivers, doesn't it? Money.
It absolutely does. It points a finger directly at what it calls the military-industrial machine.
How so?
It highlights the timing. Since the conflict ramped up, we've seen billions in new defense contracts signed, huge weapons shipments, arms deals.
Right.
And they even cite a, quote, senior defense insider who apparently said, this conflict will fuel American defense stocks for the next 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So the source really forces you to ask, how much of this is driven by profit? Is war, in this view, just business? That's the implication. War is business, as they put it.
Okay, so if these are the potential underlying motives, energy control, geopolitics, profit over relation, what does the Broken Vault say are the immediate consequences we're seeing or should watch for?
The immediate picture painted is one of really heightened tension. U.S. fighter jets flying patrols over the Middle East. Iran threatening direct retaliation against U.S. interests. American bases on high alert across the region. Navy carriers being repositioned.
And there are even rumors mentioned.
Yes, rumors swirling about a potential ground invasion if Iran pushes back too hard. It's a very volatile situation described.
So after laying all this out, the oil, the alliances, the economics, the Broken Vault, basically ends with a challenge to the listener, doesn't it? It asks, is this really about peace, or is this conflict, quote, designed to keep power in the hands of a few?
Exactly. And the final thought it leaves you with is this idea that when America talks about conflict for freedom, the source suggests you should maybe think leverage, resources, and control. It argues that, quote, the real wars are fought in boardrooms, long before they ever hit the battlefield. It's a prompt, really, for all of us to look for those deeper, maybe hidden motivations behind the events we see unfolding.
You've been inside the Broken Vault. Stay curious, stay alert, and remember, the real threats are always hidden.